It is ready. Alright, I'll be there in a moment. It's finally time. Are you ready? You remember what I've asked of you. Stay here until Mila or I come to get you. I don't expect there to be any problems, but I won't take unnecessary risks where your life is concerned. I will allow you to meet him, but only after we've deemed it safe beyond reasonable doubt to do so. It won't take long. Don't worry about me. Mila and I have everything under control. I'm as ready as I could be. There's no going back from this. I want you to know that no matter what happens, I meant every bit of it last night. Meeting you has been one of the highlights of my existence. Stay here. We'll call for you when it's time. This is it. So it is, Mila. There's still time to change your mind. You know there's really not. This is the worst idea you've ever had, and that's saying a lot. What else would you have me do, Mila? If you have any ideas, I would love to hear them. Anything other than this. Like what? I don't know what. But I do know that this is going to backfire, and even if you're able to stop the summoning, you're just going to have another problem on your hands. And if they find out about this, then it doesn't matter that you've helped them or not. This is treason, but the issue will be fixed. And if we succeed, then it won't matter if I'm dead, because it will prove that the knowledge we gain from Malachi is effective in quelling the summoning, and it can prevent future. Will you stop being a martyr for even a second? You're always too eager to die, playing your death like it's some strategy in a masochistic chess match. You're always trying to find some excuse to check out. In truth, you're probably relieved that this has happened, because it gives you a reason to die. That's not. Or do you want to die because you just feel so guilty? Not guilty for what Malachi has done, guilty for what you've done, and guilty over the fact that no matter how adamantly you deny it, you still want him. You're wrong, am I? Then why let him live? Or rather, why did you not tell me what you had done? Have I ever given you cause to believe that I would not willingly share your burdens, no matter what they might be? No, Mila, never. I didn't want this for you. When it was over, when the last of them fell, I thought it would be over. I thought you would take your freedom and go. I never expected you to stay. Yes, and as time went on, I couldn't do it. I didn't know how. I just wanted to forget. I wanted to move on. I wanted us to move on. I wanted to live the life that you tried to show me I could have. You tried so hard to save me, Mila. What kind of return would the truth have been? The proper one. I'm sorry, Mila. I'm so sorry. But once this is done, once we have what we need for Malachi, you should go. Before this gets any worse, you should go. If they come down on me, it's not guaranteed they won't come after you too. Let them come. I'm not going anywhere. I won't pretend that I'm happy about this or that I'm happy with you. But we'll figure it out. And when this is over, I'm killing him. For good. Fair enough. Are you ready? As I could be. I've got the portal locked to his location. It'll open there. Step through, grab him, and come back. Don't dally. Yes, ma'am. Go. There you are, Malachi. Look at you. How the mighty have fallen. You disgust me. I never wanted this. I wanted you to be dead. I still do. But I'm afraid I have need of you. So you're coming with me. You can't even comprehend what I'm saying to you. You can't even hear me, can you? You're just an empty shell, a pathetic carcass. I wonder how long you clawed at the walls. I wonder how long and how loudly you screamed, only to be answered by maddening silence. I wonder how it felt to be so utterly forsaken. I wonder how it felt to rot. I hope that you felt it all. There, I think he's secure. These chains are enchanted, right? Of course, every link. I've got the drip set up so he'll only receive a small amount of blood every few moments. We don't want to accidentally feed him too much. He just needs to be revived enough so you can pick his brain. Do you detect anything yet? A spark, but it is incredibly faint. Keep focused on it. On your words, we'll turn off the drip. Yes, it is hard to say how long it'll take, but it is growing steadily, so I don't think it will take long. In the meantime, you should see to our friend. I can sense their restlessness. It's very distracting. I'll do that. Tell me the moment something changes. Hey there, Jitterbug. Quit pacing about, would you? Everything is fine. It's all gone according to plan. This is the easy part. Yes, he's here. Mila's monitoring him. The moment she detects that he's become conscious enough to communicate, we stop feeding him. Then you can see him and ask him your questions. He may attempt to refuse to answer or attempt to lie, but Mila's pretty good at sifting out the right information, especially when the subject doesn't have the strength to fend off her probing. Well, I was able to block Mila from learning the truth about Malachi because I sort of rooted the memory to the back of my mind. A bit of a tricky thing to do. Basically shackling the memories of what I had done and the knowledge that Malachi was alive to the tail end of my subconscious. They became faint and faded, and over time they grew more so, to the point where I had forgotten them completely. Only snippets of them seeping to the forefront every so often. Fleeting wisps of recollection that I couldn't grasp. Trying to recall them is like trying to remember a dream you had as a child. Obviously, though, it's not permanent. It only works under the condition that there is nothing present that would have the ability to latch onto those memories to keep them from sinking. Malachi's children, for example. Every time one of them was slain, the memories would get dragged further and further into the back of my mind. And when the last of them was offed, it didn't take long for those memories to be essentially non-existent. About 6 months ago, though, those fleeting wisps of recollection visited me more frequently. Over time, I became aware that there was, in fact, something that I had forgotten that was very important, although I didn't know what. But knowing myself, I figured it was more than likely something I had chosen to forget, intentionally, in place of the real memories. I implanted false ones where I did kill Malachi, where everything happened as it should have happened. A sort of camouflage. But those fake memories began to crack as the real ones clawed their way through them to the surface. The day you first came to me, after you had left, I could feel them stirring around in my brain, swelling, overlapping, intertwining. The fake memories and the real ones fighting for dominance and validation. An agonizing uncertainty and realization. Of course, in the end, the truth wins out, as it always does. It was as if I had never forgotten them in the first place. I remembered everything. No, Malachi won't ever be as strong as he was before. He's not nearly as much of a threat, but that doesn't mean I'm comfortable testing out the limits of what he would be capable of. Yes, because of the leash. A leash is, well, think of it like a leash a master puts on a dog. The master controls how much slack the dog has, where the dog goes, and so on. Sort of the same basic concept, only a bit more extreme. I am the master. Malachi is now my dog. The amount of slack the dog has is based on the amount of power the master has. The dog cannot surpass the amount of power or ability the master possesses, no matter how much the dog possessed on its own before being tethered. Malachi is extremely old, thousands of years old to be exact, and the older you are, the stronger you become. Malachi has had ample time to cultivate his crafts. But none of that matters now, because I am weak. I do not have the power that Malachi had. I do not possess 1/10 of the ability that Malachi harbored. I am not young, and yet I am nowhere near an authority another of my age would have. Because I was born through the plague, and I should have never been born at all. It is my curse and my handicap, but it is also the one thing that could subvert Malachi into my bitch. My weakness becomes his. In one fell swoop, I have removed Malachi from the top of the totem pole, from a powerful ancient to a bubonic rat. If Malachi attempts to break the leash, he dies. If he turns on me, he dies. If I die in any way, he dies. The only way the leash can be broken is if I break it intentionally. And it must be willing and deliberate, because the cost of breaking the leash is my life. Of course, a dog, no matter how short its leash, can still snap at those around it. That is where we must be cautious. Malachi is still quite capable of killing, just as I am capable of killing. The leash does not prevent or prohibit acts of violence against others. It's the master's job to keep the dog in check. Also, Malachi will be very weak from his entombment. We'll probably be executing him before he even remotely recovers from that. He speaks, you should come. He's awake. Are you ready? If not, you don't have to. Okay, I understand. It's alright. Take a breath. Look at me. Hey, look at me. I've got you, alright? I've got you. I will never let anything happen to you. I'll be by your side the whole time. Let's go. He can hear and understand, though he is not vocal. He speaks through his thoughts, but it is not a language I can decipher. That's alright. I can hear him. I know what he says. Mila, will you give us a moment? Gladly. I'll spectate from upstairs. Hello, human. We meet once more. You can still hear me, can't you? Can you hear him in your mind like Mila? How? A bloodline. You're lying. They're all dead. He's saying that you're able to hear him and he was able to reach out to you because you share a bloodline connection. But your bloodlines disappeared long ago. That is true, but one remains. How would you even know? I didn't until you passed on the street. That doesn't make any sense. I was there every moment, like a ghost, unable to reach out or interact with the world, but remained as an ever-present shadow. If that's true, then you know they're dead. All of them. All your precious children. They were not precious to me. They were a means to an end. Expendable. Every time you managed to cut one down, I was proud. You're so much like me. You're wrong, Malachi. I'm nothing like you. He's saying that one day when he was shadowing me, we passed each other on the street. Neither of us noticed, why would we? But it was enough for him to sense the kindred bloodline. And he could go back and forth between the two of us. However, because of your relation, he could exert more control, more influence over you through the dream, the message, because of that. Hey, are you alright? Okay, I think that's enough for now. We'll finish this later. I said that's enough, Malachi. Come on, let's go upstairs. Mila, let's go. Come on, into the library. Sit here. Can you hear me? Hold on. Ah, is that better? Hey, you're alright. Just focus on me. I'm here. You're alright. Don't take that off. That amulet blocks telepathic communication. If you're not accustomed to receiving telepathic thoughts, then it can cause a lot of stress on your mind, especially if you're receiving it in a language like Malachi was using. That, combined with your growing emotional state, created a sort of feedback loop in your mind. It only lasts for a short time, and as long as you wear that amulet, he won't be able to speak to you. I'm sorry. I know that you wanted answers, but I didn't know. I didn't know that this would be it. No, I don't think that he's lying. Mila would be able to tell if he were. You grew up an orphan, didn't you? You never knew your parents, your family, and now to discover. I'm sorry. I didn't know Malachi had any living lineage. I don't think that Malachi knew it either. Malachi always tried to look after his kindred without becoming too involved. The last one that he knew of was a boy named Peter. He was killed. Malachi could not help him. He spent a lot of time searching just in case there was one left somewhere, but he never found them, and he figured that it had been the end of the line. But apparently, one eluded him, because here you are. Malachi wouldn't really be like a grandfather, more like an uncle, just many, many generations into the past. Malachi had no children of his own, but he had an older brother, human, a good man. Malachi adored him very much. When Malachi was turned, he fled to his brother for help, but his brother was horrified and turned him away. Malachi didn't blame him for this. He watched him from the shadows, watched his life unfold. A wife, 3 children. His brother lived to die of old age. Malachi spoke to him once more before he passed. Malachi watched his brother's descendants from the shadows, occasionally offering subtle, secret assistance when needed. He never got too involved, never revealed himself to them, but eventually the bloodline just ended, fizzled out, or cut short, and that was that. This all happened before I even existed, so I've never met a descendant, nor had I any reason to believe that there are more out there. I know that this is so much more than you ever bargained for. Fate is a funny thing. But I'm sorry that you've had to endure all of this, and I'm sorry for the things that have yet to come that you will have to endure as well. I want you to know that this doesn't change who you are. It doesn't change you. And it doesn't change what I think of you or what I feel about you. I'm still here for you. No matter what's to come, I'm here. Why don't we leave tomorrow's problems for tomorrow? We're not likely to learn anything else tonight. Malachi is too weak to sustain that level of consciousness. So why don't you get some rest? Just sleep on your thoughts, and we'll look at this with a fresh perspective in the morning. Yeah? Okay, come on. Sorry. That's my fault. Go back to sleep. I'm gonna step out.
Lower south, the corner of 9th. Building C, second floor, second to last door on the left. He is waiting for you.
Good. To your right, through the archway, the cabinet by the window. There's an envelope taped under the shelf. Do you see it? The rest of what you were promised and then some. Give the key to your boss. Tell him it opens box 34 at the Whitmore in the Shifter's Ghetto, and that I look forward to meeting him very soon. Keep an eye on things, Mila. Where are you going? Hunting.